If you clicked on this video, it's because you're getting ghosted by women every single time you give them your Instagram, and you're left stuck and confused because you can't seem to figure out why this happened. You have aesthetic photos, you have a nice profile picture, you have a bio in place, you have optimized your highlights, and you're even posting stories that cater to the female gaze. But for some reason, every single time you give a woman your Instagram, she never follows through with the date plans. She ghosts you. Sometimes she doesn't even follow you back. And chances are it's because you're making this one mistake that I'm going to break down in this video. And this one mistake may be the reason why you've done maybe even hundreds of cold approaches and they've never led anywhere after you give a woman your Instagram. Why you seem to be getting a few matches on dating apps, but they never go through. They never actually lead to dates after you funnel the woman into your Instagram. And this is by far the most important part about having an attractive Instagram profile that most men don't even know about. Most men completely neglect this. And most gurus and coaches that I see come on here and give you guys dating content, none of them speak about this. So what is that? Well, it's not your photos, all right? It's not the order that you put the photos in. It's not even your highlights. It's not even your stories, right? It's not about how many followers you have, how many posts you have. All of these things are important, but that's not the reason why she's ghosting you. The reason why she's ghosting you is because of your following list. And here's exactly what I mean. I'm going to break this down in detail for you guys. It's not even about how many people you follow. That's important too. Your following ratio, follower to following ratio, that is important. However, it's more so about who you choose to follow. And here's why that is so important. It's because most men curate their entire Instagram profile. They take the photos, they go to the nice locations, they plan all the photos out, the outfits. They strategically post female gaze stories, especially if you guys have been watching some of my other videos where I always talk about the importance of these things and the presentation online. So their entire profile is curated, but they neglect the one area that isn't curated. That one area is going to be who you follow. And it's funny because when men post photos on Instagram, as long as you're aware of Instagram game, you're aware of like how to actually have an attractive online presentation to a certain extent. You know what type of photos to post, you know what type of stories to post. If you're aware of this, if you've probably watched other dating content before, chances are you're doing these things with a lot of intention. Right, you're planning out the outfits, you're going to the specific locations, you're doing the poses, maybe you even hired a photographer, right? And so all of this is very curated, very intentional, okay? And it's very conscious. You're doing these things from a conscious state of mind. However, the people who you follow, you build up that following list over time unconsciously. How many times have you went on your phone, scrolling through some reels, right? Scrolling through some videos that you're watching, and you see a video that you like, and you just click that follow button of the creator, and you don't even think twice about it, right? You go on their page, you like what you see, and you just click that follow button, but you don't think twice about how people may perceive you following that account. And your following list will tell me everything that I need to know about you as a man. And what a lot of men don't understand is that your following list, the people that you choose to follow online, says so much more about you than your photos, than the stories. All of these things can be faked, but your following list is the one thing that you won't fake. It's the one thing that shows what your values are, what your intentions are, what your interests are. Okay? And even more specifically, it shows and exposes different bad habits that you may have. Specifically, if you're following adult creators, OnlyFans girls, you're following Instagram models, you're following celebrities, right? Women who basically, if you're following a bunch of women who have no idea that you exist, and that is by far the worst thing that you can do for your Instagram profile, for converting matches into dates, for converting approaches into dates. And chances are it's the reason why you're getting ghosted. It's the reason why when women go on your page, maybe they like what you see, and then as soon as they click your following list, because best believe, and this is one of the first things that women check, they check that following list. And I'll tell you what, guys, like, I'm a man and I even check following lists, okay? Whenever you guys reach out to me on Instagram, which the link is in the description below, I answer all of the questions you guys send me in the DMs. But whenever you guys reach out to me on Instagram looking for help, right? Whether you're trying to improve your dating life, your online image, or you're trying to get in the best shape of your life, the first thing I do, if you have a public account, I will go on your page and I will check your following list, because it tells me everything I need to know about you. It tells me, who are you interested in? Where's your mindset at? If you're following a bunch of meme pages, right? You're following a bunch of like random accounts, and more importantly, you're following a bunch of women who have no idea that you even exist, then yeah, that tells me everything I need to know about where you are in your dating life and where your attention goes when nobody's watching. Because it doesn't matter how successful you are, whether you're a 7-figure, 8-figure entrepreneur, whether you're a guy who's making 6 figures, everybody scrolls from time to time, right? I catch myself scrolling from time to time. Oh, I see one video, I scroll to the next, right? Or I'm going through my feed, looking at what the people that I follow are posting. And so when you're not focused on your work, right? When you're not focused on the gym or whatever it is that you are working towards as a man, when you're not focused on the business, when you're on that phone and you are on that phone, check your screen time right now. It will tell you how much you scroll on Instagram, how much you scroll on TikTok, right? I don't think many of you guys who watch my videos, a lot of you guys that are more successful, you don't really have TikTok, but you guys are watching Instagram videos. That's how a lot of you guys actually found out about me. And so if you're watching this content, right, mindlessly on Instagram, which the algorithm is feeding you, that's going to be a big part of where your attention is going. That's where your mind and your thoughts are focused on a daily basis, right? Take Guy A. Guy A is a successful entrepreneur. He's making 7, 8 figures in his business every single year, okay? Guy A follows a bunch of mindset pages. He follows other business leaders, right? He only follows women who he's actually gone out with in person, who maybe he's consistently seeing, and maybe some family and a few friends as well. He's not following thousands of accounts. He keeps his circle small. He keeps his attention valuable. Versus Guy B, who may be making as much money as Guy A. However, he follows a bunch of different random accounts. His attention is completely scattered. Okay? He's following Instagram models. He's following older girls in his city. He's following OnlyFans models. Models, right? I can't believe I even call them models, but like these OnlyFans girls, right? These girls who just sell their body on the internet. And he's publicly following these accounts. Which of these two men do you think will be able to convert more approaches, more matches into dates? Of course, it's going to be man A. Even if man A has less aesthetic photos, even if he has less aesthetic stories, even if his profile isn't completely optimized to the standard that it should be, man A will still be able to go out with far more women, not just regular women, high quality, attractive women who are in most cases feminine women as well. Versus man B, chances are he's not going to convert any matches into dates if they see his Instagram. He's not going to convert any approaches into dates. And if he happens to get lucky every now and then, best believe this will not be a woman who's of high value. This will not be a woman who is very attractive. This will not be a woman who's very feminine, because a attractive and feminine woman does not respect a man who scatters his attention across all of these women on his feed who have no idea that he exists. And you know the crazy part about it, guys, is that a lot of men will come on here and they will pretend like they are high value because of their life on paper. So maybe you've built up the business, maybe you're even in great shape, you have these things going for yourself, and so you call yourself a high value man. And as a high value man, your attention is valuable, right? As a high value man, you are very selective, right? That's one of the traits, that's one of the qualities of a man who is worth of high value, especially in the sexual market. So if your attention is valuable and you're a man who is so selective, right? You make these girls go through all of these vetting processes whenever you're texting them, whenever you're going through the dating process with them. What does this say about you when she checks her following list and you're following 50 to 100 women who have no clue that you exist? You can't be that selective. Your attention can't be that valuable. How can you come here and pretend like your attention is valuable if the one place where you spend the most of your time when you're not working, when you're not at the gym, when you're not like out and about in the real world, which is the phone, which is online, which is social media, the one place where you spend so much of your day on, the content that you're getting is just women posting lustful things, posting bikini photos, posting dancing videos, right? Posting walking videos, like all of these things. Well, you're contradicting yourself, and women can smell it from a mile away. And this will turn a woman off so fast, guys. You could have the business, you could have the physique, you could have the nice sense of style, you could have the best photos in the best locations. And you can put up this mask and pretend like you're this high value guy, you're this very selective guy, but that following list will expose you every single time. Before you go and shut this video off and you delete all of the women that you're following, all of the women who don't follow you back, all of the Instagram models, all of the OnlyFans girls, before you go and do that and create a second account where you can follow all of these girls and, you know, watch their content and do what you do to that content, before you go ahead and do that, I want you to ask yourself, is this actually removing the problem? Or is it just masking it? Because if your first thought, when I just explained all of this and the importance of having a good following list, a proper one, if your first thought was, okay, let me just make a second account that nobody knows about where I can continue to consume this content in private, well, then I already know that chances are this video is not even for you, right? Because your mindset is so messed up that's the first place that your mind goes. Oh, let me just mask my bad habits. Let me just mask my vices. Instead of actually becoming the type of man that doesn't need to follow these accounts, doesn't even desire to follow these types of accounts in the first place. That's the difference. And it's like, even with guys who come into my program, who come into my one-on-one coaching program where I help guys get the dating life that they want. I help guys date consistently attractive, high-quality women that follow their program and get into the best shape of their life, kill their bad habits. Even with the guys that come into my program, one of the first things I do on our one-on-one call, our first one-on-one call, the onboarding call, is I'll go through their page and I'll make sure they're not following any accounts, any people who they don't even talk to. Not just women, guys, like that guy from high school who you don't even talk to him. He doesn't support you, right? He could care less if something happens to you. I would make them go through their entire following list and delete these accounts one by one, especially those accounts that are women, right? Women who don't follow them back, women who are only posting for attention. There's not too many guys who do choose to work with me that are following these accounts in the first place, because a lot of the guys that I work with, they really understand the importance of valuing where your attention goes. And so it's a very rare case that I have to actually get a client to do this, but nevertheless, I still have them go through that process on our first call. And maybe you're just waking up to this idea now. Maybe you're just realizing that the actual importance of having a proper following list, of actually valuing where your attention goes as a man, and not just throwing your attention, throwing your seed away to women who have no idea that you exist. Maybe this is just first coming up for you. And in that case, bro, I want you to ask yourself this question. If you choose to make that burner account and you follow all of the accounts that you were previously following, and then your main account, the one that you give to women, you have the perfect following list. It's super clean. You're following all the right pages. And now she looks at your account. She's like, wow, this guy's not following any Instagram models. He has a nice aesthetic photos. He's showing a lot of lifestyle. He's showing sex appeal. Great. You're going to get a lot more dates. A lot more dates. But here's the thing. What happens when the man that she meets in person is nothing like the man that you portrayed yourself to be online? Because you can mask, you can hide your bad habits, you can hide your vices, but what's done in the dark will be brought to light. Because it's going to come off in the way that you interact with a woman. It's going to come off in the way you carry yourself. It's going to come off in your insecurity and your failure to actually hold frame with the woman once you're up close and personal with her. Best believe it will. I've had points in my life, guys, where I was heavy into watching porn, into watching all of this content that I shouldn't have been watching. And my relationship suffered because of it. Because I knew deep down that it was bad. I knew I shouldn't be doing it, and yet I did it anyway. And so my self-respect was at an all-time low. So even though I was having some women to be attracted to me, as soon as they got to really feel my energy and just be in my presence, they would instantly get repelled because there was a disconnect. There was a disconnect between the man that I look like and the man that I actually was. So until you can actually become the man that kills your bad habits, truly masters your internal state, masters yourself, and at the same time, you take all of that work that you've done on yourself, on your habits, on your routines as a high-performing man, and you can actually present it in the best light online through the photos, right? Through the stories, through all the different strategies, the little things that I teach you guys on this channel. If you can combine the internal and the external, that's when you have true abundance with the woman that you desire, with the woman that are your type, with the women that follow your program, with the women who don't disrespect you, don't waste your time, who are willing and eager to go out with you and follow what it is that you set out for her as a man. And that's how you do it. You master the internal, you translate it with the external, with the photos, with the outfits, everything else, with the physique. And that's how you reach abundance. And that's exactly what I help all of my personal one-on-one clients with. I help them kill the bad habits they have in their life. I help them establish routines that make them more productive, that make them in alignment with the highest identity version of themselves on a daily basis. And at the same time, simultaneously, I help them improve their look. I help them get into the best shape of their life. I help them take this physique, take these good habits, take the man that they built, and represent it in a way that actually aligns with their true identity online. So that way they don't get ghosted, they get more matches, they go out on more dates, they have more fulfilling relationships with the woman that they truly desire. If this is something that interests you, if you want to work with me personally, there's going to be a link in the description below. I urge you to click it. I'm going to learn more about your specific situation and what exactly you are trying to achieve in your life, in your dating life as a man. And if it makes sense, if my program is a good fit for you, then we will work together. But if you guys have any questions whatsoever about killing your bad habits, about improving your photos, optimizing your online presence, your digital image, anything whatsoever, click the link in my description to my Instagram and send me a DM. Tell me that you came from YouTube. I answer all of my DMs. I may take a little bit of time because I get a lot of DMs, but I will get back to you as long as the question is something that is intelligent. Okay. But very important video. Make sure you guys take notes and make sure you guys actually implement the things that I spoke about in this video. I'll see you boys real soon. Stay dangerous.